back to the home team. We're going to talk about love languages. It's all Greek to me, is what Elia Gourgouris says, because you're Greek, right?
That's right.
Elia Gourgouris is a success coach and president of LDScoaching.com. Welcome back to the show.
It's great to be back, Julie. Thank you for having me.
All right, marriage prep. It's a subject that you're passionate about.
Very much so.
And you're married.
I am married. I am married. This is a picture from almost 20 years ago. There you go. And there's a story to be told about that. So,
do you want to tell it now?
Love languages. That's what it's about. And most couples, I've worked with couples that have been married for 35 years and still do not know each other's love languages. Remarkably so. And we didn't either when we first got married because nobody taught us. There was nothing out there. So, getting started, maybe because I was a man or maybe because of the family that I grew up in, my mom and my dad were very physically affectionate with one another. So that's what I learned. That's how you express your love. So the first 6 months of marriage, I'm hugging and kissing my wife to death. But that wasn't her love language. She grew up in a very different home. Her parents never expressed that, but they were extremely polite. So they used words of appreciation. So guess what she's doing for the first 6 months of marriage?
Thank you, Elia. You're so
For everything.
wonderful.
For the smallest things, she's doing that nonstop. And yet both of us feel like we're not getting our needs met. So after 6 months, we got together and said, we feel like we're trying 110%, and yet we're not feeling like we're getting our needs met. And I asked her, I said, well, how is it that you don't know that I love you? I'm making deposits to your account daily. I hug and kiss you all the time. How come you don't know that? And she told me, you know what? Wrong account.
So you weren't speaking her love language.
That's right. And she turns to me and says, well, I thank you for every little thing you do on a daily basis. How come you don't know that I love you? And I said, guess what? Wrong account. So we had to get together and figure out how to love one another the way that was important to the other person. And I think that's key in a successful relationship.
I agree. You know, I think the golden rule does not apply in this situation. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. No, it's do unto others as they would have you do unto them.
Right.
We just assume people want what we want, and it's not the same.
And the true measure of love is to love the person, not what comes easy. Because I can do the hugs and kisses in my sleep. That's easy for me to do.
Yeah.
To love her the way that she needed to be loved. So guess what? The next morning I said, let's try this out. We'll got to try it out. She's a wonderful cook. She makes a meal. I taste it. I stop. I make eye contact, like you're supposed to do for all men out there. And I said, thank you, honey, for doing this. This is delicious. I love it. Well, you know what? She got up. She came around and started hugging and kissing me, and I've been saying thank you for 20 years now. So
And does she hug and kiss you?
You know, she had to learn how to do that because that was foreign to her. She never saw it in her family.
Yeah.
So it was outside of her comfort zone. It didn't come natural. But that's real love, is you got to do what comes outside of your comfort zone. You have to love them the way they need to be loved.
And so you suggest there are three parts of emotional intimacy that engaged couples or dating couples can learn about. And the first is, do you know what makes you feel the most loved?
And most of us don't. And we need to, there are several love languages, obviously, words of appreciation and physical touch. And by that, I need to clarify, it's not sexual touch. It's just really holding hands, rubbing your back, just being affectionate, playful. So some people like quality time. That's what they like to spend together. Quality time means it's more meaningful to them. So do you know what makes you feel loved? Because unless you do, you can't communicate that to your future spouse.
Right.
So that's number one.
And second is, do you know what makes your partner or your companion feel most loved?
Okay, and I have done this test for hundreds of couples over the last 20 years. Only one got it right. The exact order right, but they were sitting next to one another when they were doing. I think they were cheating actually, but they got it. Most people have no idea, or they might know something or be close, but they don't really know. So, how can you go forward? Do you want to make deposits in the wrong account, or do you want to make deposits in the right account? So find out. Ask them.
Yeah.
To
Well,
clarify.
I think knowing what you like instead of just assuming that everyone is going to speak your love language is important, and then knowing what the other person wants. And then that brings us to your definition of true love. It's stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing what your loved one, loving them the way they would want to.
Which will not come easy right away, especially if that's not your primary love language. You have to learn that on-the-job training, if you will. So, and sometimes you're going to fall back to old habits. So we had an agreement, if I'm starting to be less appreciative, would you let me know? Kindly, though.
Yeah.
Not like, well, I haven't been getting, my bucket is empty because you haven't been, physically affectionate. Let me know. And then I'll step up to the plate again and do it. And after a while, if you start practicing, it becomes a habit, like anything else. But initially, it's not easy.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Not
you
at all.
Need to know that. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Will you stick around for another segment?
I would love that.
And we'll continue our conversation. And you can go online and check out Dr. Elia's website, askdrelia.com, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Danny and Vanessa, what do you have for the rest of the week?